Swinburne University of Technology.
Hi everyone, in this video we are going to look at writing your own function. So if we want to write our own function, then we actually have to use a function called function. So here in the notepad I've got an example of a very simple function. So I start off just by giving a name to my function, and I've called it add some numbers 1, and so we then assign that to our function, and then in our brackets we have whatever input. So for this one I want to add up all the numbers from 1 to whatever number I get given. So I have a single input which I've decided to call n. I then open my function with curly brackets, and so that is going to tell R that everything inside these curly brackets is all together. So it doesn't try and run the code line by line when I copy it over. This next line has a hash in the front of it, and so that means that R is not going to register it as code, and so whenever we see a hash, that's going to indicate that it's some sort of comment, and it's a comment reminding me what this function does. So with this function I've started off and I've got a variable that I've called total. It's going to start at 0, and then I have a for loop, and so a for loop is a loop that's going to keep happening over and over for the criteria that I give it inside the brackets. So inside these brackets I've said for I in 1 to n. So I is just an index or an indicator, and it's going to count up. It's going to start at 1, and it's going to count up 1, and it's going to go through the loop, then 2, then 3, then 4, all the way up to n. And of course n was the number that we told it up the top here. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way up to n. And each time I do this, I'm going to get that total, and I'm going to add on I. So I'm going to add on 1, then add on 2, then add on 3. It's going to give me my cumulative total. Once it gets up to n, the loop's going to stop, and by then I'll have my total of all of the numbers added up from 1 to n. And then the last thing I want is this return statement, and so that's saying, well, what we want to pass back. Suppose we assign something to this function. We want to pass back this total. So let's copy it into R. So copy, paste it over into R, and then let's try running it. So add some numbers 1, and let's try 100. So add up all the numbers from 1 to 100, which hopefully you could do in your head anyway. And let's have a look. 5050. So it does indeed give us the right answer.
This has been a Swinburne production.